a lot of explanation to get to the point that Renegades picked this map. If they stand a chance of winning against Team Liquid, which they obviously do, it should be the highest on a map that they pick. It's not necessarily the map that Renegades always goes to. They did try it against Immortals yesterday, and it didn't work out for them. Immortals taking it all the way on them on their offense. So lately, Renegades' defenses in particular are starting to show some cracks that might be teams planning and learning more about them now that there's more footage, seeing some tendencies. It could also be just a little bit of disorganization in comms. Yesterday's Renegades with Kib looks honestly very similar to today's Renegades with Man of Snow. I don't think the players there are really the biggest difference. It seems to be an overall team effort and just some of the organization they have. Meanwhile, for Liquid, they're really stepping it up. AZK is delivering back-to-back days of Rafa. He's just been all over everybody with D.Va. But we can't leave out Mezzer. He landed some critical Earth Shatters on the right people at the right times to make that defense work. Yeah, Mezzer, again, being massively impactful for Liquid. I mean, one of the best Reinhardts in North America, for sure. He's the guy you look to lead and make the big plays on the side of Liquid. So it will be Liquid on the offensive side first. Renegades will be running Mangachu on the Mei, and Man of Snow will be playing D.Va rather than Zarya, which you often see him on, as Renegades are starting to engage Liquid a bit here, and this could be some dangerous territory. They got that pick on ID. ID ended up falling, so they wanted to get a bit aggressive. They backed themselves up nicely, and now Renegades will just be going back up to the high ground a bit and getting themselves set up for Liquid's repush. Looks like part of Renegade's game plan going forward here for their defense is trying to isolate Mezzer using the Mei walls from Mangachu. Mezzer wasn't going to let that one happen, and yeah, you just pointed it out, AZK switching over to Tracer. Yeah, Jesus goes down here, got caught pretty far forward. ID had a nice concussion to blast him off of the cliff, and this could be a good opening for Liquid to get themselves in right now. Juvenile finished off by ID as he was hanging on for dear life, and he's targeting in on Jur at the moment. ID is, Mezzer takes out Man of Snow, so one well-placed rockets from ID. And an Earth Shatter, sorry, a Fire Strike. Yeah, Fire Strike from Mezzer, which was on point to finish, actually finish Jur off, but some good prediction coming out from the Liquid players. And they are looking good at the moment. This switch to Pharah and Tracer working beautifully for Liquid so far. Yeah, and Renegades, they've got a nano boost to try and mount this second defense, but that's really it. Liquid with an Earth Shatter and a nano boost. And now Mezzer getting that nano boost, trying to go straight into Juvenile, and there's really nothing that Juvenile can do about it. Now Mezzer's looking for a little bit more, using Earth Shatter. It's only going to grab Jesus, but that should be a pretty much secured kill. Maybe. He's getting supported pretty well. Actually, Mezzer ends up going down. Rafa and company are going to fall as well. 3 players out of it for Liquid. And Renegades, with the repush, are able to hold on, as they're now staggering a couple of deaths at the end. And that is going to be a good hold from Renegades to make sure that they're able to at least contest this first point. That reversal on Mezzer, keeping him alive. Jur now has a sound barrier. He's been on point with those so far today, landing a lot of them perfectly at the right times. Mangachu has a Blizzard, which is certainly going to delay things quite a bit. Team Liquid with a Pulse Bomb, a Barrage on their side. They still need a Graviton to pair that with, but maybe not if they find the right target getting in behind a tank. Juvenile using that. Oh, the Earth Shatter, but AZK was able to get the Pulse Bomb. Mangachu going in for the Blizzard right here. Mezzer's going to get caught in the middle of it. He's so hurt. Mangachu finally finishing him off. Jesus was able to snag up ID for a frag in the middle of that. Mangachu ended up falling, but still Renegades have that number advantage, and they should come out on top of this fight, barring that Jesus doesn't go down late, but we'll be able to stay alive. So Mangachu actually making a switch over to McCree now as he comes back to the point to try and deal with that ID Pharah. Maybe 2 fights left for Liquid. They'll certainly get a number of their ults in the first one, but if they can make it last long enough, they will have 5 online pushing into this, and that's going to be a tough battle for Renegades. However, they do have a self-destruct, a whole hog, and a nano boost. Not necessarily the best crowd control ultimates they want in this situation, but they can make them work. Yeah, do have the
the Graviton Barrage combo on the side of Liquid, which now that Barrage is going to come out. Couldn't quite get the Earth Shatter Mezzer. That shield was still up, but Mangachu shut down ID, so there will be no Barrage out from Liquid, and Renegades are finding the kills here. 4 players down for Liquid. They're only going to have 18 seconds to come back, and Minstrel should be a very late stagger here. That is bad news bears for Liquid, as they need to get back to this point. They won't even have speed boost to get there, so I think they're going to be relying on AZK touching this cart potentially, but they got to move quick. 2 seconds left now, and yeah, no one's going to be able to get there in time. ID taking down Jur, and that's the Renegades we're used to seeing right there. A full hold on the first point of Route 66. Very well done to get themselves back in this match.
Mangachu switching over away from May after he got that Blizzard out onto McCree to start dealing with ID and AZK's Pharah and Tracer respectively. Didn't see a whole lot of that making a solid connection, but either way, the mentality of it is correct. And honestly, it probably was just happening a little bit too late in the game for Mangachu to really pop off. But I'm sure he had an effect on some of those fights. Any sort of McCree play from somebody like Mangachu is definitely going to make aerial superiority a bit harder to achieve.
Absolutely.
Renegades putting together that defense we know so well from them here on Route 66. Team Liquid not taking the first point. So far right now, looks like it's going to be Renegades' chance to tie things up.
Absolutely. They have looked immaculate so far. And now Liquid will be moving to the offense to see, or the defense, excuse me, the defensive side. They were just on offense, silly. Liquid now on the defensive side. And they are so far showing the quad tank. So I think they are going to be sticking with that. And Renegades, I would not be surprised to see a Mangachu Pharah coming out on the offense to get even just the concussion to get everybody off that gas station off the start and being able to focus down some isolated players. It's something that they've tried numerous times on their offensive sides of Route 66, so definitely keep an eye out on that as they move forward. But
most importantly, bouncing off Mezzer. You can take the barrier out of the equation. The top of Big Earls changes quite a bit. All of those corners start working 2 ways instead of 1.
Absolutely. It's always good getting people off the high ground, to say the least. Jesus is going to be playing the Reaper. And we've seen a lot of teams really like to run this Reaper on the first point of 66. And he will immediately be going in through the tunnel on the left-hand side. Mangachu is playing that far, and you have Sherlocky on the Zenyatta to get those Discord Orbs and the Harmony out there, keep it on to Mangachu, but here comes the engage on this fight. Juvenile goes down early for Renegades. They get a return frag onto AZK, though, as Jesus has pressed himself forward. Mangachu getting a lot of damage out there, is able to take down the Hang. Yeah, Mangachu, of course, actually traded with each other, and Jesus cleans up onto Minstrel. That is a big, crucial kill for Renegades, and things are really not looking the best for Liquid at the moment. They're just trying to back up, wait as long as they can for all their respawns to re-engage on a fight. As it is coming down to the dying seconds, they need to stop Renegades here. They're going to have to keep stopping them. They're so close. Somebody's got to go in and touch that payload. No one got on it for Liquid. I thought for sure somebody was going to go touch it, but oh man, that's a disaster for Liquid, not even contesting.
I don't know if they misread the time and distance on that. They were there.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could have put somebody on it.
Get the Lucio speed boost. Yeah. I don't know.
Just like that, Renegades ties it up in about the fastest game of Overwatch I think we've had here in the group stage.
Yeah.
That was impressive. And, you know, there's we noticed this. I noticed this on the first map when on Kings Row they're around the bend on offense, and we see players going for a reset at like 10 seconds, and we're like, why are they going for the reset now? And the Reaper has to get back at just the last possible second, you know, and send it in overtime, and it didn't end up mattering for them there. And here again, we see maybe some clock management issues for Liquid, kind of biting them there. In the first map, it didn't matter because they had the great hold on defense, but like still, you know, take me through this.
I mean, I don't really know what happened there at the end. There's almost no excuse for just messing up that battle, not even contesting the cart, like putting somebody on it. I mean, they should be aware of where that cart got stopped and how close the cart is moving to the checkpoint in this case. I mean, you need to be aware of that. That's just, you know, kind of a lapse and going AFK in the brain for a second there for Liquid.
I mean, I'm not gonna make too harsh rulings on exactly why they weren't able to get back to it. It could be a number of things. Really, as obvious as that issue is. You know, very close, not touching the cart. The biggest problem is why they had to get back to the cart to begin with. And that's really just getting systematically disassembled by Renegades. Mangachu finding a pick onto Ana in the back line, Lucio going down to Jesus' Reaper. It's just the way that Renegades is assaulting Big Earls makes a whole lot of sense. Reaper has the ability to shadow step into underneath of Big Earls, which allows him to, unless you can hear it, just come from very unexpected areas or get him closer to the fight. So when those tanks drop down, he's right there, right behind him. He can start lighting him up, or he can sneak around the back and start cleaning off the top. There's a number of different things he can do. So between the two of them, Mangachu and Renegades basically can divide up little areas and just get 1 or 2 kills, most importantly, one very specific kill for each of them, and it'll tear everything wide open. And it looks like they've really got that down to a formula.
And that was, their offense was a big part of it, but also Renegades set themselves up so much for success with their defensive hold, just completely stopping them here on the first checkpoint was very well done.
Yeah, Renegades, we first saw them do this when they really had their breakout against FaZe on this map, getting a full hold against them last week, and it seems as though their defense is still just as strong. This is the Renegades we're used to seeing, or at least what we saw from them last week, and they really just took it to Liquid right here on this map. So we're all tied up at 1, going into a third and final map. Things are starting to get interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, we've had 2 back-to-back shutouts here, and we'll go on to Nepal to decide who is the winner here. Liquid, Renegades. You guys each, I feel like you picked Renegades, you picked Liquid, yes? I remember correctly?
I was
you
on
definitely
the fence,
picked Liquid.
I don't think
depending
he picked
on
anyone.
lineups. Yeah, I was on the fence if Mana Snow was going to be it. Now
You're just trying to push him into that.
Well,
I'm
We
gonna
call you out here.
You said Renegades, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going Liquid on Nepal. Boom.
All right.
Money.
Alrighty,
Yep.
easy.
Liquid.
3 rounds, 5 rounds, 4 rounds.
I'd say Liquid take it 3-1.
3-1.
Liquid 3-1. Yep. You giving me the look?
I'm just going to go 3-1 Renegades.
All right.
3-1, all right,
Here
it
we go.
is. We will see.
Yeah, we will see. It's gonna be fun. I mean, Renegades, they have tools. I mean, they beat teams like FaZe on Nepal. So they've had some good wins on this map, though. Liquid, if they get AZK on that Tracer again, and he's going to town just doing his thing, or even the 7